glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me. Late last night, there in Milford, New Hampshire, the National Weather Service has confirmed that a microburst struck Tuesday night there in Milford, where numerous trees and branches came down. They estimated about 150 trees were either uprooted or smashed to like toothpicks. Came down on about 12 houses, 7 which are completely unlivable. The microburst, which hit at 7:57 p.m. last night, had peak winds of 95 miles an hour. And thank God there was no injuries. One man said he heard the wind or something, and he immediately rushed to the basement when a tree came crashing down, splitting his home in half. Yeah, thank God there was no injuries. It's estimated that at least 7 homes were damaged and are unlivable, and 150 trees were downed. Microburst is an intense downdraft in a thunderstorm that forms when the updraft collapses and there's enough cold air and dry air to feed into the thunderstorm, causing lots of evaporation. The cooling process, the colder air is heavier and sinks, gaining momentum as it falls to the ground. Pattern of damage from a microburst is different than from that of a tornado, which most of the debris running in a straight line, hence the term straight line damaging winds. Homeowners said that the storm started rolling in around 7 p.m. and the sky was orange with the rain falling sideways. Trees, massive in size, fell onto yards, cars, fences, trampolines, and children's little playgrounds that were in people's yards. The witnesses said her and her boyfriend were playing video games at his home when the storm rolled in. We heard a big crash on the side of the roof, she said. We really didn't know what it was. It was nerve-wracking. Other homeowner said that she was grateful her home was only damaged minor. When she came near and saw the trees uprooted and the house split in half, I was like, what? According to the Milford fire chief, over a dozen homes in the area have major damage. For everyone there is unnerved. And with another round of severe storms expected tonight, Wednesday, officials are concerned. Ever could be prepared for a storm that we just had. Nobody was really experiencing that. And we're hoping that it was here, the police chief said. Crews came in today using heavy duty equipment, tree chippers to break down all the debris, and big cranes to remove some of the trees from the property. The workers urged caution around the trees left standing because they had loose branches at the very tops that could fall at any time. Across the town, there's still power lines down in yards and on roads. Crews said anytime a wire is down, people should expect it to be live and should use caution around them. A live power line can produce power through the ground up to 35 feet. The Ford Fire Department said it could take up until the end of the week to clean up everything. Another resident said they had never heard anything like that. It was like a big boom. I don't know. Not only one, it was like 3, 4 booms, and the house was shaking a lot. Family was just sitting down to dinner when everything went dark, and then a giant pine crashed through the roof of their home, rendering it, sadly, unlivable. Much wooded area, which they called an oasis, is now filled with downed trees, 150 of them. Thing that you seen happen was in just 4 minutes. Family, thank God they weren't hurt. Source Energy reported over 14,000 customers without power Tuesday night, with approximately 100 crew working to restore the power. There is a difference between a microburst and a derecho. Typically, a derecho consists of numerous microbursts, downbursts in downburst clusters. By definition, if the wind damage swath extends more than 240 miles, about 400 kilometers and includes wind gusts of at least 58 miles an hour or 93 kilometers per hour or greater along the most of its length. Then the event may be classified as a derecho. A microburst is a small downburst with an outflow defined as cooler air quickly moving outward from the storm. Less than 2.5 miles. They said that this storm was 0.7 miles of the microburst. It is a horizontal diameter and lasts only between 2 and 5 minutes. Well, one of the people said it lasted 4 minutes. Despite their small size, microbursts can produce destructive winds up to 168 miles an hour or 270 kilometers per hour. This one was estimated to be at about 95 miles an hour. And I did not know this until I did some looking, did some research, but there is two different types of microbursts. Actually, one is called a microburst and the other is called a macroburst. A microbursts are up to 2.5 miles in diameter, while a macroburst affects an area larger than 2.5 miles. And there can be what they call a dry microburst. A dry microburst typically occurs with very little precipitation at the surface or aloft, hence the dry type. Microbursts, on the other hand, are primarily driven by entrainment of mid-level dry air and precipitation loading. Hybrid microbursts possesses characteristics of both wet and dry microbursts. Once again, a wet microburst is instability, high precipitation water, dry air in the mid levels, and strong winds in the drier level. Ideal condition typically comes together during hot and humid summertime afternoons, especially in the southeast. This is unusual, I assume, for New Hampshire. Good name for microbursts is downbursts. Bursts, microbursts, macrobursts. They're just as damaging as a tornado would be. Luckily, that one fellow did go to his basement when he heard the winds. Yeah. So what are your thoughts? Yeah, sending prayers, these poor people. You think about them having to make payments on their houses and where are they going to live? How much will insurance cover? What are your thoughts? Put your comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.